So to start off today's coaching video, I want to walk you through a few things on my actual YouTube channel. On my post here, I've actually been putting up some articles here, and there's a couple of different articles that I want to quickly go through with you right now, or just go with you with right now, and hopefully these are going to help you out. So I want to start off with these two different ones that I've actually put up here as well too. Oh, by the way, guys, go to johnsfreegift.com, guys. I've got a massive trading course there. By the way. Is this a big, massive head and shoulder? This is a weekly chart, by the way. These are weekly charts. Look at this here. Big, massive head and shoulder formation. Really interesting to see the stuff there. Bit of a tip for you guys as well too. Whenever you're viewing the charts, I think sometimes when we're viewing the charts, we can zoom in and we're looking at the individual candlesticks. But as you can see, by looking at the big picture, sometimes we can get a much better view from there. Anyway, so let me go back to here now. And what I want to do is I want to start off with these articles here because I really want to sort of give you a bit of guidance this weekend to help you keep going, okay? And the first one here is: to every trader on the journey, it's easy to get caught up in the charts, the missed entries, the red days, and the feeling that you are not there yet. But take a moment, breathe, and look back. Remember when you didn't even know what a candlestick was? When risk management was just a phrase you heard on YouTube? Look how far you've come. The late nights studying, the mindset shift, the wins, the losses, none of it has been wasted. Progress in trading isn't linear. It's messy, frustrating, and sometimes it feels like you're going in circles. But growth is happening, even when it doesn't feel like it. Every chart you study, every trade you journal, every time you choose discipline over impulse. That's the work that builds long-term success. So if you're feeling stuck, remind yourself, you're not starting over, you're starting wiser. Be grateful for the journey, proud of your resilience, and stay focused on what matters most: consistency, patience, and belief in yourself. The results will follow. Keep showing up. The trader you're becoming is worth it. Really important. And also this other article here that I really want to walk you through here is this one here, all right? So this one here, it says, when hard times lead to growth, trusting the process God has for you. Life is full of ups and downs. There are times of joy and success, but also moments of pain, confusion, and struggle. It's during those hard times that we wonder why we're going through so much. Let me zoom. There we go. Why we're going through so much. Why things aren't working out, or why life seems to be working against us. But when we take a step back and reflect, we begin to see something remarkable. Those hard times were not to break us; they were meant to grow us. They were part of the journey, not the terror. They taught us lessons we would never have learned in the comfort. They revealed strength we never knew we had. Many of us believe that God has a plan for us, for our lives. But that plan doesn't promise an easy road. Instead, it often includes a season of struggle, losses, waiting, and discomfort. Why? Because it's in those seasons that we are shaped, refined, and made ready for the blessings and the responsibilities to come. Think about it like this. God is purified in fire. Trees grow stronger in storms. Diamonds are formed under pressure. In the same way, our character is developed through adversity. God often uses our hard times not to harm us, that's it, harm us, there you go, but prepare us to mold us into what we need to become to fulfill our purpose. You may not understand the reason for your current hardship right now, and that's okay. You're not meant to see the whole picture all at once. But trust this, one day you'll look back on this season and you'll see how it shaped you, how it taught you, and how it led you closer to your goals. You'll realize that your struggles wasn't wasted, it was necessary. And here's 5 things that you can actually go through: journal, prayer, meditation. You can read this here, but I just want to read you through these final thoughts down the bottom here. And these final thoughts here is this: you may not have chosen the hard times you're facing, but you can choose how to respond, and how the choice is powerful. God often allows challenges in our path not to punish us, but prepare us. He sees the person you're becoming even when you can't. So hold on. Keep going. Trust the process. One day, this season will be part of your story. One you tell you with strength, faith, and gratitude. Because the struggle you're facing today may very well be the reason you achieve your greatness victory tomorrow. Really, 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 really important, guys, for when it comes down to that. And I understand, right? Like, it's so, sometimes you can be going through a difficult time. Sometimes you can be going through a hard time. And so one thing I really want to, on the back of going through this, going through these different articles for you today is, and this one here, every trader on the journey. One thing that really helps me, and I really want to sort of give you some guidance around this process here. One thing that really has helped me become pretty good. I'm trying to stay humble. One thing that has helped me become really good at trading is doing this. One thing that I do know is that there are patterns in the markets, okay? And this is a whole bunch of screenshots that I've taken through here. And this is a PowerPoint that I continue to update screenshots. Now, one thing I do know is that whenever we see that there are patterns that form in the markets, and when they do form, they tend to produce what's called really big moves, or a probability of that trade working out, right? So one thing that I did wrong when I was first started trading, and this is on the back of what we talked about today, right? About going through a hard time with trading. And I'm just trying to give you a bit of a guidance on what has really helped me and what still helps me to this day when I'm trading the markets. And that is really building confidence in the patterns that's actually likely to do really well. Unfortunately, a lot of traders, they're getting into things and there's no system to it, right? It's just they're getting into it because they think it's going to go up. And that's not professional. If you actually want to be professional, we need what? We need to actually have we need to be then looking for the patterns that's likely to do really well. Unfortunately, most traders are losing so much money to this day because they're not doing that. And so the thing for me is what I'm always doing is I'm always doing things like, I have a thing called the channel trades, right? These are called basically channel trades. And a channel trade is, I won't go into actual full detail. I could be here forever, right? But I have channel trades, right? And all these different things through here, right? Going back to 2007, here's another different type of what's called a channel trade. Here's another channel trade. A lot of the times it's called a channel trade because there's actually a bit of a channel there, right? Even through here. Now these channel trades, the reason why notice one thing about these channel trades, what is that? They tend to what? They tend to have big moves, right? You go through a bit of a sideways pattern and we have a big move. Sideways pattern, big move. So as you can see, even through here, right? Sideways pattern, big move, right? This one here, sideways pattern, big move. This one here, sideways pattern. So as you can see, there's a lot of times, this one here, this is actually a really nice option trade here. This is a screenshot taken back in 2003. So the same things happen again and again and again and again and again. So I don't want to be lucky. And you don't have to be smart. See, a lot of you guys are saying, well, John, you don't understand. I'm in gold right now because the debt bubble's going to explode and dollar's going to crash. And that's it. It's game over. So that you're being too smart. See, if you're having a hard time with your trading right now, I promise you, because you're trying to be too smart. What do? What's the pattern I'm looking for that's likely to make a good move? That's it. Right? So, and I don't need to be smart. Right? And the reason why I don't need to be smart is, actually, I can't be smart because my smartness right now is called being lucky, right? I want a system, and as you can see, I'm utilizing patterns and systems. This one here was back in 2003. This one here was back in 2007. This one here was back in 2020. I think this was last year. This one here, right? So there's actually all these different trades here. This one here was actually at the start of towards the end of last year. I got into it and I got out of it. This is actually a trade on Roblox. It was actually a channel trade. This one made 170% return in about a month and a half. About a month and a half on this one here. It's called a channel trade, right? Channel trades, and the reason why I'm saying this here is that this is the thing that stopped me from going through those hard times with my own personal trading. And the reason why I'm saying this is because one thing for me, guys, and I hope you can see, is that you don't have to be clever or lucky or try to guess. If you're doing that, you're actually down the wrong path. Because if you guess right now that you are right about, say for example, the big topic right now is gold, right? There's a big topic around gold. Let's just say you are right with gold. I don't know, gold could keep going up to 5,000, 10,000 right now. But that doesn't matter if it does. Let's just say you were saying that, right? You were saying, John, you're an idiot. You have no idea what you're talking about. Gold's going to keep going to 5,000 because of X, Y, Z. Okay, cool. Let's just say you make $1 million on this gold. You're in gold right now. You make $1 million doing that. What are you going to do next year to continue having that success? You're back to zero. See what I'm saying? You don't have a repeatable process for the rest of your life. And the purpose of me saying what I'm saying here, I'm trying to show you a system that I use and a pattern that I use that's been working for a very, 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 very long time, right? And again, that's the reason why I showed you this one here, 2007. Here was an actual screenshot of a stock that I did, a screenshot that I took. This is back when I first started trading, as you can see, back in 2003 through here. So I'm trying to share with you, there's different patterns to look at there. See, for me, I'm not trying to be smart. I'm saying, okay, what am I looking for? I'm looking for a pattern, because when I find that pattern, I'm not going to make a profit. I can have that as my foundation for success in my life. See, I was always going through a hard time with trading because I wasn't doing this one thing. And so the thing for me is, if it's called a channel trade, now it's called a channel trade. I'm not going to get into too much of a detail here of a breakdown, but I have different patterns I'm looking for, basically different types of setups. First is a channel trade. What is a channel trade? And then what I'll do is I want to take screenshot after screenshot after screenshot of different times that I've seen it form in the markets, on all different types of markets, because these are the things that's going to help me build my confidence around that one pattern. Make sense? Again and again and again and again. Again, guys, if you want long-term success, you want to make money this year, next year, year after, you got to stop trying to be lucky and stop trying to be smart, try to be right. Right? Well, the inflation is going to be high right now and they're not going to cut interest rates and therefore I'm going to go trade this. Like, that's not a repeatable process. Doing really well at a trading is having something to do. I do the same thing every single day, guys. Nothing new. Every day I turn up to the markets, I'm doing the same thing over and over and over again. And I guarantee if you're struggling in the markets right now, it's because you don't actually have any plan. You're just like winging it. Okay, well, let's buy gold right now because I think it's going to keep going up, right? And so this is the thing for me. So I have that through there, and there's all these different. Look at all these different trades. They're all these different trades. They're called channel trades, but all these different trades I'm showing you right now. This one here, even these ones. Oh no, it's not through there, right? This one here as well too. All these different trades, what's called channel trades for me, is they all meet the same rules, right? So they're all basically the exact same type of setup through here, right? And so then I go to what's called a level 2 type of trade for me, right? And again, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but it's called. I have my setup, but then the setup, it's the same setup I'm looking for, but depends on where it actually forms. Right, so if the setup forms near a channel, it's called a channel trade. If the setup forms with what's called multiple time frames, using 2 different time frames, it's now called a level 2 trade, right? Because level 2 trade simply means that I have my setup, but I have that big long-term trend behind me. Again, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I'm trying to show you. And a level 2 trade, guess what? I have so many examples of what's called level 2 trades that have done really, really well in the past, because guess what? The same thing's going to keep happening. Remember I showed you before a screenshot that happened back in 2003 and 2007 and 2023? Like, do you see what I'm saying here, right? The same things happen again and again and again and again and again. The market never changes. It's the same pattern. And whenever you see the same pattern, there's a high probability the same outcome is going to form. This is how you have long-term success in the markets, right? And if you're not doing this, I guarantee you, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, and guess what? 5 years later, you're back at square one. Why? Because you don't have any system, you don't have any foundation, you don't have any confidence in your trading, because you're not focusing on developing, having one sort of solid approach. And then we can see these are all different. These are all different level 2. These are all different what's called level 2 trades for me. Again, if you want to learn more about this, guys, you can apply for my coaching program, that link in the description there, and I can show you. But then I also have what's called 24 MA examples, right? And then I simply can go through here and I can see the setup with using 24 MA, right? All these here, 24 MA examples with my entry, and that's what happens afterwards. See what I'm saying here, guys, right? So I'm not lucky in the markets. I just know that this system works. So I need to make sure that at least 95% of my time throughout the entire year is focused on these types of patterns that I look for, right? That's a 24 through there, right? This is now called what? 52 MA trades, right? 52 moving average trades. And then I have different setups here that formed when it comes to the 52, right? 52 moving average. So it's a 52 trade. So basically I have a rock solid foundational system that I use, but just depends on where it forms. Does it form with the 52? So there's different variations of what I look for, but it's all basically the exact same thing of what I'm looking for. And the reason why I'm doing this for you guys here is because I'm trying to show you that once again, like if you are going through a hard time with your trading, one, remember what I said at the start of this video, but secondly, I hope you can see that you are not that far off. Let's bring it back to an actual proper plan so you're not lucky, right? How you build confidence in something is doing what I'm doing here. Firstly, we have the system and we have the rules. Secondly, I take screenshot after screenshot after screenshot after screenshot of the setup forming across all different markets. Gold, silver, Bitcoin, that doesn't matter, right? Because my system works on every single market because they all operate the same way anyway, right? So this is the thing for you. And if you're not doing well as a trader, remember, right? It's so important that if you want long-term success in the markets, you do the same thing every day. That's what successful traders do. Okay? For me, when I'm looking at the markets and I'm focusing on the markets, guess what? When I look at the markets today, I'm actually in 2 trades right now, right? 2 trades right now. They are what? They're the system trades. That's nothing new. Tomorrow, when the market opens up this week, guess what? I'm looking for the same setups. And if we can get you doing that, being really focused, focused on one type of approach, and that's where if you don't even actually, let me ask you a question. Now I'm showing you different screenshots here, right? I'm showing you different screenshots here. But let me ask you a question. And I'm going to ask you one simple question. Do you know exactly what to look for in the markets that when it forms today, if you saw it to that form today, it would give you a massive probability not only having a nice profit, but making a big move? Do you know what that looks like in the markets? And if you don't, that's the reason why you are missing out on potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars, potentially millions of dollars of profit opportunities because you don't even know the answer to that one question, right? And so you need to do whatever you can do that. If it's my stuff, go deep in my stuff. If it's someone else's stuff, but you need to know, right? Because the same thing forms it's not about being lucky or being smart. Once again, I know exactly what I'm looking for that gives me a high probability, right? It simply means I'm still going to have a few trades that don't work out there. I'm still going to have my losses there. But I'm telling you right now is that like the trades I'm in right now, I got into a new trade just on Friday last week, right? So it's a brand new trade I got into. This trade is the trade that that's the setup that has the potential of making a really big move over the course of the next 2 months. So I'm jumping in it and I'm probably going to hold it for the next month or 2 and jump on a really big profit. If it's a loss, I'm going to have a small loss. If it's a profit, I'm going to hold on to it for 2 months or 6 weeks or a month and have a really big profit out of this one. See, if you don't know how to answer that, if you're trading based off small profit, that's the wrong thing to do. And on secondly, is that you must know what to look for in the markets. That's going to give you the best chances, right? And again, do you know what to look for in a setup? That when it turns around, most of the time, it's not only going to generate a profit, but it's going to generate a really big profit. Because it's the same thing, right? It's the same thing. The reason I'm showing you this, because the same setup formed in 2003, 2007, this year, all these different examples here, it's the same thing again and again and again and again. It's not nothing new. And once you start to see this, and that's the reason why I take screenshot after screenshot after screenshot after screenshot after screenshot after screenshot of the exact same type of trades, right? Do screenshot after screenshot after screenshot. It's the exact same pattern across all markets. That's how you build deep confidence. And within this, that's how you actually start to flip it to the negative to the positive, and then eventually, then start to do really, really well, right? And I always say to my private clients that by knowing this, right? There's amazing trades that's going to come across your plate. If you don't know what you're looking for, you are missing out on potentially hundreds of thousands, if not millions and millions and millions of dollars of profit opportunities that you're missing because you don't know what you're actually looking for. So that's what I want to sort of, one, I want to give you a bit of motivation to don't stop and keep going. But secondly, I want to give you a bit of a blueprint, a bit of a map of what you need to start focusing on if you want to become part of the top 1% of traders all around the world.